Hi, this is Andrew Savini. I work for Intertech in New York City, and I'm going to share a little bit about my story. It's actually quite an interesting one. I was requested by a client to conduct an audit of a number of cornfields in Indonesia. And at the time, I'd never been to the country previously. We were going around to different areas of Java to assess working conditions. At one point, I found myself in a village in right outside of Malang, which is on eastern Java, and I was hosted by a number of families. This small villages worked with a number of different acreages of farm that are just kind of in the bush. So in order to get to the farm, you first drive to the village, and then either via motorcycle or some other means, you'd get to the farm. I'm here representing this major client. I dress, typically leather shoes, dress pants. Silly decision, because when we got there, there was a line of motorcycles waiting for us, and I met a few of the workers. We didn't have a lot of time, and they basically asked me and the clients to jump on the back of the motorcycles and literally just jet off into what I considered to be at the time the wilderness. So I got on the back of this motorcycle with a guy about half my size, little dirt bike, and he literally launched off a patch of red dirt directly into the bushes, and off we went into these small motocross paths to find the farm's small acreages or hectares of corn seed that we were assessing for the farmer. As funny as it was, imagining this giant Samoan man, attached to this smaller Indonesian man. My best times aside from that experience was coming back to the village and just talking to the families who lived in what we consider to be impoverished conditions, although they were incredibly happy people, which is an interesting telling of our own society. But what was interesting is that they barely made enough money off of the corn for this international client to survive. It wasn't a living wage. So the husband would have to go on his motocross bike to the village, to the bigger town every day and sell different types of services and other goods that they had, because Western markets and audiences demanded a certain price point, and they had some farmland in a developing country that can be visited by bike. The farm seed can come back also by bike. It's quite laborious, and they barely made a few dollars on some of the outputs that they were giving after a long harvest season. So yes, giant Samoan man, little Indonesian man off on a bike, but also a telling example of how insightful it can be to see the world through another person's eyes. Thank you.